When I think about you, the first thing that comes to mind is just how much you matter not just to me, but in the world around you. There's a certain gravity you carry, a presence that doesn't just fill a room but reshapes it, makes it better, brighter, more alive. And standing here looking at you, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. My love for you isn't just words on a page or fleeting emotions in the quiet moments of the day. It's a commitment, a declaration that every heartbeat, every thought, every decision I make is informed by the simple, profound truth that your happiness, your peace, your safety matters above all else. You exist, and because you exist, everything I do is filtered through this lens of devotion. Love isn't always grand gestures or dramatic moments. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, the kind of presence that says, without a single word, I'm here, I've got you. You don't have to face this alone. And that is how I want to love you. I want my love to be a constant, unwavering force, not just in the sunlight of our good days, but in the storms, the uncertainty, the moments when life feels heavier than either of us imagined it could. Because it's easy to love someone when everything is smooth, when the world is aligned perfectly. The real measure of love is how fiercely you hold someone when the path ahead is uncertain, when challenges rise like walls in the distance, when the night feels too long and the weight of the world presses in. That's when I want you to feel my arms around you, not just as a physical barrier against harm, but as a sanctuary. Every time I think of the life we can build, I see a landscape of shared dreams, ambitions, and quiet victories. I see mornings where your smile greets me before the sun even rises, and nights where your hand in mine is all the guidance I need. I see challenges met together, failures faced together, and triumphs celebrated with the kind of joy that only comes from knowing the other person truly sees you. My love isn't a temporary energy that fades or dims. It's a fuel that drives me to be better, to think bigger, to act not just for myself, but for us. And in that, there is a promise, an unspoken vow, that no matter what comes, my arms, my heart, my mind, all of it exists to protect, to cherish, to lift you up. Commitment, real commitment, is something that can't just be claimed, it must be lived. And I intend to live it every day. In small ways, in grand ways, in every choice I make that affects you, I will choose care, consideration, and unwavering support. I want you to know that when I say my arms exist to keep you safe, it's not just a metaphor, it's a guiding principle. Every step I take, every decision I make, carries with it the weight and the honor of being someone who is entrusted with your heart, with your trust, with the incredible gift of your presence in my life. And so, this is me telling you now, without hesitation, without reservation, my love is absolute, my commitment is unshakable, and my arms, my presence, my energy, all exist for one purpose, to ensure that you always know, no matter what, that you are seen, you are valued, and above all, you are safe. In a world that is often uncertain, in moments when doubts whisper, I want to be your certainty, your anchor, your sanctuary. And when you feel the weight of the world, when the days stretch long, and the nights feel heavy, I want you to feel this. My arms exist not just to hold you, but to remind you that no matter what happens, there is a space in this world and in this life that will always be yours, guarded by love, unwavering, unbreakable, and eternal. When I say I want to keep you safe, I want you to understand that it's about so much more than just shielding you from danger. Safety isn't simply about walls, locks, or avoiding the obvious threats that might come our way. True safety is something deeper. It's a state of a mind, a feeling that you can exist fully, completely, without fear, not just from the world, but from the parts of life that try to diminish us quietly, subtly, the parts that make us doubt ourselves. Safety is the space where you can be yourself without hesitation, where vulnerability isn't a risk, but a bridge to connection. It's knowing that someone stands beside you with unwavering trust, and that no matter what comes, your well-being is never a question, but a certainty. I think about this a lot, because real safety is intertwined with love and respect. It's not just about being physically present to catch you if you fall. It's about being emotionally present, mentally present, spiritually present. It's the courage to face the hard conversations, the uncomfortable truths, the moments when honesty might sting, because protecting you doesn't mean shielding you from reality. It means being the kind of partner who can walk through the challenges with you, who can confront the fears life throws at us, together, as a team. Safety, in this sense, is an act of courage as much as it is care. It's creating a life where you can grow, explore, and even fail, knowing that you are supported and never alone. When I imagine what your safety looks like, it's not limited to the physical. Of course, I want you to never feel threatened, never feel at risk. But I also want to ensure that you are safe in your ambitions, safe in your passions, safe in your thoughts and dreams. I want you to feel unshakable in your pursuit of what sets your heart on fire, because you know that in every triumph and every setback, you are not facing the world alone. Your fears, your doubts, the moments when you question yourself, those are the times when my commitment to you is at its most profound. Your safety, to me, is a promise to create an environment where nothing can dim the brightness of who you are. And safety is also a gift of freedom. To feel safe is to feel free to take risks, to speak your mind, to laugh openly, to cry without shame, to love without hesitation. The paradox of protection is that it is not confinement. True protection allows the soul to soar, the mind to explore, and the heart to expand. My arms, my presence, my unwavering care are not meant to limit you, but to give you the foundation from which you can rise higher than you ever imagined. When I say my arms exist to keep you safe, I mean they are a launch pad, as much as a shield. They are a place of grounding that lets you reach for the stars without fear of falling, a place where the weight of the world can be set down without judgment, a space where the fullness of your being can flourish. Safety is also patience, understanding, and empathy. It's about listening before responding, seeking to understand before judging, and being willing to step into your world, your perspective, your fears, without trying to fix them, just to honor them. To protect you is to acknowledge that the challenges you face are real, valid, and worthy of attention. It is to create a partnership where every concern, every worry, every hope is held with the care it deserves, and where you can rest in the knowledge that you will never face the storm alone. And so, when I speak of keeping you safe, I am speaking of the complete spectrum of life. I am speaking of the courage to stand with you when the world seems uncertain, the dedication to honor your truth, the unwavering belief that your life, your dreams, and your happiness deserve to be nurtured. My promise to you is not just protection, it is the creation of a sanctuary, one where your heart can rest, your mind can wander freely, and your spirit can rise without hesitation. A sanctuary built not of walls or barriers, but of trust, respect, understanding, and unwavering devotion. Your safety is not just a responsibility, it is a privilege, a mission, a calling that I embrace with every fiber of who I am. And in this world that can so easily feel chaotic, uncertain, and relentless, I want you to always feel this. You are seen, you are valued, and you are unshakably safe. That is my promise to you, as constant as the rising sun, as unyielding as the gravity that holds us together. When I talk about keeping you safe, it isn't just a statement of intention, it's a declaration of responsibility. It's a recognition that love isn't passive. Love isn't something that exists in words alone or in fleeting moments of affection. Love, real love, demands action. It demands presence. It demands a willingness to show up every day, in every way, even when the world feels uncertain, even when the challenges seem too big to face. My arms exist to keep you safe, yes, but my mind, my choices, my very being exist for the same purpose. I accept that responsibility not because it's easy, but because it is right. Because there is nothing in this life more meaningful than knowing someone's heart is entrusted to you, and that you have the honor of guarding it. Responsibility is often underestimated in relationships. People talk about passion, about chemistry, about romance, as if those things alone can sustain a bond. But the truth is that the foundation of love is responsibility. Responsibility to care. Responsibility to listen. Responsibility to be steady when everything around us is moving. It's easy to promise safety when everything is calm, when the sun is shining, when life is predictable. The real test comes when storms arrive, when fear surfaces, when life challenges us in ways we cannot anticipate. It is in those moments that the promise becomes more than words. It becomes action. It becomes the courage to stand unwavering, to be the anchor, to be the shelter, to be the unyielding force that ensures you never feel alone. I embrace this responsibility fully. I know that keeping you safe isn't just about shielding you from harm. It's about holding space for your dreams, for your growth, for your individuality. It's about understanding that safety doesn't come from controlling the world around you, but from equipping you with unwavering support, from being the person you can rely on without question, the person who will stand beside you as you chase the things that set your soul on fire. It is a promise that my presence will be consistent, that my loyalty will be unwavering, and that my commitment will be felt in every word, every gesture, every choice I make. And responsibility is not a weight I bear reluctantly, it is an honor. To be entrusted with the well-being of someone you love is the greatest gift, the most profound opportunity to make life meaningful, not just for yourself, but for another person. There is a kind of power in this responsibility, not the kind that seeks control, but the kind that empowers, that elevates, that strengthens. My arms are not just barriers against the world, they are conduits of that power. They are a symbol of commitment, a tangible representation of a promise that says, whatever comes, I am here. Whatever happens, I will not waver. You are safe in my care. It is easy to underestimate how much weight a promise carries. A promise is more than a statement. It is a covenant between hearts. When I promise to keep you safe, I am not speaking in hypotheticals. I am speaking in certainty. I am speaking with the clarity that comes from knowing that someone you love is worth every effort, every sacrifice, every moment of vigilance. Responsibility is not optional in love. It is the core. It is the framework on which everything else stands. Trust, intimacy, joy, growth. Without responsibility, love is hollow. With it, love becomes unshakable, resilient, and enduring. So when I make this promise to you, it is absolute. I will not waver in moments of doubt. I will not falter in moments of challenge. I will stand firm, guided by the knowledge that your life, your well-being, and your happiness are entrusted to me. Every action I take, every choice I make, every plan I envision carries the weight of that responsibility. And it is a weight I carry with pride, not burden, because it is my honor to ensure that your world is life threatens to pull you under. Real support is not conditional. It does not falter when things get difficult. It does not ask for recognition or thanks. It simply exists, steadfast, a constant presence that you can rely on, without hesitation. That is the kind of support I want to give you, the kind that builds the foundation of true security, the kind that allows you to reach higher, dream bigger, and face the world boldly, knowing someone has your back, no matter what. Trust is a fragile thing, yet it is also the most powerful bond we can create. I understand that fully. To trust someone is to give them a piece of yourself, to share your heart and your vulnerabilities, to reveal the parts of you that are tender, raw, and sometimes uncertain. And in giving that trust, there is courage. Courage that deserves to be met with honor, respect, and unwavering commitment. I promise that I will honor your trust in every possible way. I will safeguard your heart with the same intensity that I would safeguard my own. I will never take lightly the privilege of being someone you can depend on, someone whose presence is a source of strength, not fear, not doubt. And support is not only about being there in moments of difficulty. It's also about celebrating the victories with equal intensity, about amplifying your joy and your successes as though they were my own. True support is being fully present in the entirety of your life, not just in the moments that demand attention. It is cheering for your triumphs, encouraging your ambitions, and walking with you through the ordinary, everyday moments that shape who we are. Support is consistent, enduring, and holistic. It doesn't waver when life is smooth, and it doesn't disappear when life is hard. It is a constant, and it is unwavering. I also know that trust and support are reciprocal. They are a conversation, not a monologue. They require listening as much as speaking, understanding as much as action. My arms exist to keep you safe, yes, but my heart exists to listen, to understand, and to honor the depth of who you are. Every worry you carry, every fear you face, every hope you nurture, I want to be the person who holds space for all of it. And I want you to feel confident that you can do the same with me, without hesitation, without fear, without reservation. That is the balance that makes love, protection, and life together possible. Trust that is absolute, support that is unwavering, and the knowledge that we are each other's safe harbor. And so, as we move forward together, I want you to know that my presence is not temporary, my support is not situational, my trustworthiness is not conditional. It is a permanent, unshakable foundation upon which we can build everything else. My arms exist to keep you safe, yes, but more than that, they exist as a symbol of trust, a testament to the power of unwavering support, and a promise that no matter what comes, you will never face life's storms alone. That is my commitment, my choice, and my honor. In a world that often feels unpredictable, I want you to always feel one certainty, that in my presence there is trust without question, support without condition, and a love so consistent that it can withstand anything the world throws our way. That is the essence of safety, the heart of protection, and the foundation upon which everything we share will flourish. When I talk about keeping you safe, it's not just about physical presence or even support and trust. It's about creating a space where emotional intimacy can thrive, where vulnerability is not just allowed, but honored. There is a power in vulnerability that the world rarely acknowledges. Most people see it as weakness, a risk, a door that should remain closed. But the truth is that vulnerability is the doorway to connection, to understanding, to love that is profound and unshakable. It's in those moments when we reveal our fears, our doubts, our hopes, and our dreams that true intimacy is born. And my arms exist not only to hold you, but to invite you into that space, to let you know that it is safe to be entirely, unapologetically yourself. Emotional intimacy begins with presence. It's more than hearing words. It's listening with full attention, with curiosity, with care. It's noticing the small things, the way your expression changes when something weighs on your mind, the quiet pauses in conversation that signal deeper thoughts, the subtle gestures that speak louder than any words ever could. It's in these details that I find the depth of who you are, and it's here that my role as a protector extends beyond the physical. My arms, my attention, my energy, all exist to ensure that the layers of who you are, every joy, every fear, every aspiration, can be shared without hesitation, without fear of judgment, without restraint. Vulnerability is a two-way street. To invite someone to show you their true self requires the courage to show yours in return. And I want you to know that I will do this with you, not only standing beside you when you reveal your heart, but revealing mine as well. I will share my doubts, my struggles, my failures, and my fears, not to burden you, but to demonstrate that our connection is mutual, that the safety I promise is not a one-sided offer. My love for you is not built on perfection or absence of weakness. It is built on honesty, transparency, and the courage to face life's uncertainties together. This is the foundation of true emotional safety. Knowing that, even in your most fragile moments, your partner's heart is open, steady, and unshakable. There is a remarkable freedom in allowing yourself to be seen, fully and completely. To share your vulnerabilities is to trust someone with the essence of who you are. And that trust, that gift, is something I will never take lightly. My arms exist to hold you, yes, but they also exist to create a space where you can be raw, open, and authentic. They are a sanctuary where tears can fall without restraint, where laughter can echo without hesitation, and where the complexities of your heart are not just accepted, but celebrated. To be emotionally intimate is to create a bond so strong that it can weather the turbulence of life, a bond that strengthens with every shared fear, every revealed hope, every moment of authenticity. Intimacy also thrives on empathy, on the willingness to step fully into another person's world, to feel their experiences as vividly as they do, and to honor them without judgment. My arms exist to keep you safe, but my heart exists to meet yours, to understand it, to recognize its rhythms and its beats, and to respond with the care and attention it deserves. Emotional safety is about this: a continuous, deliberate choice to honor each other's hearts, to create a partnership in which both people can grow, explore, and heal, knowing that nothing they reveal will be met with rejection or indifference. And so, when I speak of vulnerability, it is not as a risk, but as a strength. It is the soil in which our deepest connection takes root. My arms exist not only to hold you, but to cultivate. The courage to be fully yourself, to let your fears and joys intermingle, to know that you are safe, cherished, and understood. That is the kind of intimacy that transforms love from a fleeting feeling into a force capable of sustaining a lifetime. In a world that often discourages openness, I want you to always feel the certainty that here with me, your heart is safe, your vulnerabilities are honored, and our connection is limitless, unbreakable, and real. That is the essence of what I offer, not just protection, but a space where your soul can be free. When I think about the future, I see it not as a distant, abstract concept, but as a landscape we can shape together, a life built intentionally, deliberately, with purpose and care. And in that vision, you are at the center. The future, I imagine, is not just about dreams or achievements. It is about creating a life in which you feel completely safe, completely seen, and completely loved. It is a future where my arms, my presence, my commitment exist every day as a steady foundation, so that whatever challenges arise, whatever uncertainties the world brings, you always know there is a place where you can rest, recharge, and simply be yourself. I see mornings filled with quiet routines and shared laughter, where the world outside might be chaotic, but here, together, we find peace. I see evenings where our hands meet without words, and the simple connection of touch says more than anything else could. I see a life where we celebrate triumphs big and small, with the same intensity, knowing that every success is sweeter because it is shared. And I see moments of struggle too, where we lean into each other, facing obstacles as a team, drawing strength not just from our own resilience, but from the unwavering knowledge that we are not alone. That is the future I want for us. A life where safety is constant, love is unshakable, and trust is absolute. The future, I imagine, is also one of growth, not just for us as individuals, but for us together. I want a life where we challenge each other to be better, to dream bigger, to reach higher, without ever fearing judgment or rejection. Your ambitions, your passions, your wildest ideas, these are not just yours alone. They are ours to nurture and celebrate. I want to be the person who holds you up when the path feels steep, who provides the courage to take risks, and who creates a space where you can explore every possibility without fear. My arms exist not just to protect, but to give you the freedom to rise, knowing you are never falling alone. I see a future where intimacy continues to deepen, where we do not merely exist side by side, but truly inhabit the same world, our hearts intertwined, our minds in constant dialogue,